Fine. Are the voice and screen clear? All okay? Are the voice and screen clear? Yes? Okay. So, a very good morning to all of you. Good morning, everyone. Yes, good morning. Good morning, Khushi. Good morning. Isha, good morning. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, Sanya. Let everyone join. Fine. In the yesterday's lecture, we were solving one example, right? And in that, we were given with a galvanometer having total number of turns, sorry, not turns, total number of divisions. Just give me 1 second, then we'll start again. Okay. Fine. So we were given one example number 83. Number of divisions in galvanometer, total number of divisions were 100. So capital N equal to 100. Current sensitivity was given not in terms of angle upon current. Angle upon current nahi dila. Instead they gave us divisions upon current. Okay, no problem. From the unit we can understand it is division upon current. Current sensitivity of the galvanometer is 10 divisions per milliampere. So it is division upon current. Delta N upon delta I. It was also given that voltage sensitivity of the galvanometer is 2 divisions per millivolt. 2 divisions per millivolt. Okay. So that is delta N upon delta V. Voltage sensitivity of galvanometer was also given to us. All right. Then the question was bit number A. What modifications are required to read 5 ampere as a full scale deflection? So this division is called as a scale. This is called as scale ultimately. And when this pointer is at its right extreme position, it is called as full scale deflection. When this pointer is at its right extreme position, it is called as full scale deflection. Right now, full scale deflection means 100 division. Right now, full scale deflection means 100 division. Okay. There are 10 raised to 4 divisions per ampere or 10 divisions per 1 milliampere. So 10 division means 1 milliampere. So 100 divisions will mean 10 milliampere. 10 divisions 10 divisions means 1 milliampere. 10 डिव्हिजनचा 1 milliampere आहे. मग 100 डिव्हिजनचा किती असेल 10 milliampere. But we don't want to measure 10 milliampere. We want to measure more current than that. We want to measure 5 ampere as a full scale current. Okay. So what does this mean? You want to measure 5 ampere, but this galvanometer is not able to measure 5 ampere. So galvanometer we converted into ammeter by connecting a shunt resistance in parallel. So the bit number A is convert the galvanometer. Convert, it means convert the galvanometer into the ammeter of the range 0 to 5 ampere. Okay. Now what are the data points which we are given in this question? Let's try to understand. So we want to measure the current of 0 to 5 ampere. It means we have the value of I max, capital I max, capital I max. Where that capital I max can be found? Here. Current I, it will become I max. We will call this current as IG. We will call this current as IS. We have to connect one shunt resistance. We have to connect one shunt resistance which should be in parallel with the galvanometer. We have to design the ammeter, means we have to find out the value of shunt resistance. Okay, fine. So what we will do now? We have the Imax value equal to 5 ampere. We want to find out the shunt. So what we are going to do? Very simple. We will write Is into S equal to Ig into G. Is into S, write down along with me, is equal to Ig into G. Sir, other values are given to us. Just we want to find out the value of shunt. Okay. So to find out the value of shunt, what we are expected to do? We are expected to do this. S is equal to this Ig into G as it is divided by this Is. But sir, Is current not known to us, so we will write that Is as I minus Ig. General procedure. Ig into G upon I minus Ig. Is will be replaced by I minus Ig. Now this S will be equal to, put this Ig as Ig max. Put that Ig as Ig max divided by put this I as I max minus Ig as Ig max into this G as it is, Now call it as equation 1. We have the value of I max to be equal to 5 ampere. Now we will find out what is Ig max. We have delta N upon delta I, but this current is current through galvanometer, so call this as delta Ig, delta N upon delta Ig. This is delta N upon delta Vg. This is delta N upon delta Vg. This is voltage across galvanometer, and this is change in number of divisions of galvanometer. This is change in current in the galvanometer, change in divisions of the galvanometer. How many divisions it moves when the current changes by delta Ig. If the current changes by 1 milliampere, divisions the pointer covers is equal to 10 divisions. Okay. When the current changes by 1 milliampere, the pointer covers the 10 divisions. Okay. So now the task is, this value we know, this value we don't know, this value also we don't know. Ig max we don't know, and we want to find out S. We already know what is G, or G will be given to you in the question. Right now we have to find out answer in terms of G. So it is okay to keep the answer in terms of G. So we simply have to find out Ig max. Very simple. You have number of divisions upon change in current. If you have delta N upon delta Ig, then you can write that delta N upon delta Ig value in terms of SI unit first, which is equal to, we have already found out, 10⁴ divisions per ampere. Those many divisions per ampere. Now what you will write is this. Change in divisions, maximum division minus minimum division, maximum current minus minimum current. Let me do that here, or let me write it here. Therefore maximum division is the 100th division minus lowest division 0 divided by maximum current is Ig max minus lowest current is 0 is equal to 10 raised to 4 division upon ampere, everything in SI unit. Okay, this value 10 raised to 4 as it is. So this is 100 upon Ig max. Yesterday you wrote all these things. Now today we are solving it. So we want to find out Ig max. Once you get Ig max, you immediately get the value of shunt. Bit number 1 will be solved. So 100 upon Ig max equal to 10 raised to 4. 100 upon Ig max is equal to 10 raised to 4, sir. So taking this 100 cancel with 10 raised to 4, that will become 10 raised to 2. Taking reciprocal, Ig max will be equal to, taking reciprocal, 10 raised to minus 2 ampere. Okay, 10 raised to minus 2 ampere. Call this as 2. Now put equation 2 in equation 1. Put equation 2, Ig max value in equation 1. If you put the Ig max value, I max value, which is also given to you, you can get the value of shunt. So equation 2 in equation 1. So that will give you, sir, S is equal to, Ig max is 10 raised to minus 2 divided by I max, which is equal to 5 ampere, everything in SI unit, minus 10 raised to 2 multiplied by G. You can write this properly if you want. What you can do is 10 raised to minus 2 as it is, you can keep, divided by this 5 minus 10 raised to minus 2 can be written as 1 by 100 into this G as it is. You can do the slight rearrangements. 500 minus 1 upon 100. So 10 raised to minus 2 upon 500 minus 1 upon 100 into G as it is. You can do the replacements and you can do the rearrangements as per the requirement of the question. Now you will look at the options, and from the options you will select, or according to the options you will rearrange this further equation. So this 100 will go into the numerator. So 10 raised to minus 2 as it is, 100 in the numerator, divided by 500 minus 1 is 499 into G as it is. So that's S. That's the value of shunt. Reply me in the chat box. Is that clear? Will you be able to convert the given galvanometer in ammeter? Galvanometer la ammeter मध्ये convert केलं. Its current sensitivity was given to you. Delta N upon delta Ig was given to you. Everyone reply me in the chat box, clear and written. लिहून घ्या बाळांनो. चेक करा समजले का? Good. Write it down. Done. Now let us check what is bit number B in that. एक galvanometer दिला होता तुम्हाला. It was to be converted into the ammeter of range 0 to 5 ampere. Okay, sir. Now we can convert that galvanometer into ammeter. फक्त बाळांनो काय करावं लागेल? You need to find out what is Ig max. You need to find out what is Ig max from the current sensitivity. Once you get Ig max, you know how to solve for the shunt value. Ig into G equal to Is into S, because potential difference across these two both are going to be same, because this shunt resistance and galvanometer both are in parallel. Okay, next bit is convert the galvanometer such that it measures 1 division per volt. Okay, bit number B. Now let me write that bit number B here. The same galvanometer that we are given, we have to convert that galvanometer now into the voltmeter that reads 1 division per volt. Okay, write down bit number B. Convert it into voltmeter. Convert it into voltmeter, which reads which reads 1 division per volt, which reads 1 division per volt. Okay, what does that mean? What does that mean? You have the galvanometer which has total of 100 divisions, starting from the 0. It has 100 divisions, let's say, and it is to be connected now in series with the series resistance R, and this will give you the voltmeter, which will read effectively between point x and y. You will be having the voltmeter which will read 1 division per volt. Okay, let us call this as total voltage to be measured as capital V. We want the voltmeter to read 1 division per volt. 1 division per volt. 1 division means 1 volt. Then 100 division means 100 volt. Write down 1 division corresponds to, if 1 division corresponds to 1 volt, 1 division upon 1 volt. You can assume that here 1 is written. So 1 division per 1 volt. 1 division corresponds to 1 volt. Then we have 100 divisions. Which will correspond to 1 volt. How many volt? That you can calculate. How to calculate this? Question mark into this is equal to 100 into this. Do the cross multiplication, find out the value of question mark. Automatically that question mark value you will get. 1 division means 1 volt. Then 100 division means this word division, div, or 1 division can be replaced by 1 volt. So this div, if you replace by 1 volt, 100 into 1, you will get 100 volt. So actually what do they mean? They mean they want to measure maximum voltage of 100 volt. So what is that? Something which you are given, maximum voltage to be measured, Vmax equal to, therefore write down, therefore Vmax equal to 100 volt. They want to make this galvanometer measure 100 volt, means they want to convert this galvanometer into the voltmeter which is able to measure 100 volts. Next, so now to convert the galvanometer into the voltmeter, what we can do now? We are given one more thing. What is that one more thing? That one more thing is voltage sensitivity, 2 divisions per millivolt. Okay, we are also given voltage sensitivity, but how to use that voltage sensitivity we will check that, but before that we have to write down the equation for capital R. Only then we can check what are the values to be found out. Okay, so between point x and y, total potential difference is V volt, which will be equal to Vg plus Vr, which will be equal to Vg plus Vr, which will be equal to Vg plus Vr. So I can write it as Vg plus Vr. I want to find out value of R. So let's write Vg equal to, or you can keep that Vg as it is because voltage sensitivity is already given to you. So you can keep this Vg as it is. You can find out its maximum value. This Vr can be written as Ig into G. Vr can be written as Ig into G. and this V as it is. This V as it is. Now, if this V becomes maximum, then this Vg also becomes maximum. If V becomes maximum, it makes Vg also maximum. It makes Vg also maximum. That makes Ig also maximum, current in the galvanometer. Ig, the same current is passing through this resistance. Ig into G, Ig into R. Ig also becomes maximum. Now Ig max value you already know. Ig max value you already know. So tick mark. Galvanometer resistance value we don't know, keep it as it is. Vg max we can find out by voltage sensitivity, and Vmax is already given to you 100 volt. I think I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Oh. This Vr is equal to Vg equal to Vg, Vg equal to Vg, Vr equal to Ig into R. Vr is equal to Ig into R. Same current Ig is passing through the resistance R. I should have written Ig into R. I should have written Ig into R. I should have written Ig into R. This R is to be found out, so question mark. This Vg max is not known to us. Other two things are known to us. This Vg max is not known to us, so let us find out Vg max. Before that, call this as equation number 2. This was 1, this was 2, this is 2. Now, voltage sensitivity. Number of divisions traveled by the pointer, number of divisions traveled by the pointer divided by change in voltage of the galvanometer, so delta Vg. It is 2 divisions. It is 2 divisions per millivolt. It was already given in the yesterday's question. It was 2 millivolt. Sorry, 2 divisions per millivolt. In the numerator there is a division, and in the denominator there is millivolt. So this milli can be written as 10 raised to minus 3. Milli can be written as 10 raised to minus 3 volt as it is. This 10 raised to minus 3 will go in the numerator, that will become 10 raised to plus 3. That many division upon volt. So now we convert it into proper SI unit. This is delta N upon delta Vg. Now delta N can be written as maximum number of divisions 100 minus last division minus first division, max division minus minimum division, maximum division minus minimum division. Maximum division is 100, minimum division is 0. Maximum voltage across galvanometer Vg max minus minimum voltage across galvanometer 0, which will be equal to 2 into 10 raised to 3 divisions upon volt, that is there. Then 100 upon Vg max, let me write it here. Therefore, just keep on writing 100 upon Vg max will be equal to 2000. Taking reciprocal or just cancelling these 00 with 00, taking reciprocal, Vg max will be equal to 1 by 20. Don't do the calculation for 1 by 20. Keep it as it is. You have found the voltage, so unit should be volt. Okay, fine. Now you have all the values. Vg max you didn't have, so Vg max you have found out. Now you can find out the value of R. Let's do that. Let's do that. Now call this as equation number 3. Now use equation number 1, which was V max, and equation number 3 in the equation 2. So equation 1 and 3 in equation number 2. 1 means equation number 1 I wrote there, which was for V max. V max was 100 volt equal to Vg max. Vg max is 1 by 20 plus Ig max. What was the Ig max that we found out from the current sensitivity? Tell me, reply me in the chat box. What was the Ig max? Ig max किती होतं जरा नोटबुक मध्ये चेक करा आणि मला सांगा. How many ampere or milliampere? How many ampere or milliampere? 10 raised to minus 2 ampere. Okay, so it was 10 raised to minus 2 ampere Ig max into this R as it is. So now calculate kara. This 1 by 20 on the left hand side, 100 as it is, minus 1 by 20 is equal to this 10 raised to minus 2 into R. Okay. Now be careful while dealing with this 10 raised to minus 2. Okay. This 10 raised to minus 2 will appear here, will become 1 upon 10 raised to minus 2. 100 minus 1 by 20, observe it carefully, is equal to 10 is equal to R, is equal to R. Do it carefully. This 10 raised to minus 2 will go in the numerator, that will become 10 raised to plus 2, that is 100. 100 in the bracket, 100 minus 1 by 20 is equal to R. So now what you can do is this one, 100 into 20, that will become 2000. 2000 minus 1, 2000 minus 1, 1999 upon 20 into 100 is equal to R. This 0 cancel. Now this 10 upon 2 means 5. Therefore value of R will be equal to 10 upon 2 means 5 multiplied by 1995. Sorry, 1999 will be equal to what? 2000 into 5. You can approximately do 2000 into 5. 2000 into 5 will be 10,000. And this is not exactly 2000. It is 1 less than 2000. 2000 ला 1 कमी आहे. So final answer मधनं 5 subtract करावे लागतील. So 2000 into 5 is 10,000. 10,000 minus 5. 10,000 minus 5 is 9,995 ohm. That's my answer. So you need to connect a series resistance of 9,995 ohm in series with the galvanometer. Then that galvanometer is capable of measuring maximum of 100 volt, maximum of 100 volt, but it has 100 divisions. So it will be measuring 1 division for 1 volt. It will be measuring 1 division for 1 volt. So for 100 divisions, it is capable of measuring 100 volt. In this way, you can convert the galvanometer into the voltmeter, which can measure 9,900, sorry, which can measure 100 volt for 100 divisions, means 1 division for 1 volt. Reply in the chat box, clear and written. Good. Done. Now you will say, what is their answer? Same, but they have written the answer in kilo ohm. We have written the answer in ohm. Okay, let us try to arrange kilo. Right now the decimal point is here. Kilo means 10 raised to plus 3. So we have to arrange 10 raised to plus 3. So we have to shift this dot. 1, 2, 3. Point moving left plus 1. You will move the point leftward 3 times. So that will become 9.995 into 10 raised to 3 ohm. Now this 10 raised to 3 can be written as kilo ohm as it is. 9995. So 9.995 kilo ohm. That will be the answer. Now you will say, sir, we found out exact value of R, but we didn't find exact value of shunt resistance. Why? We didn't find exact value of shunt resistance. Why? Because we didn't know what is the value of galvanometer resistance. आपल्याला गॅल्व्हॅनोमीटरच्या रेझिस्टन्सची व्हॅल्यू एक्झॅक्टली माहित नाही आहे. जी व्हॅल्यू वी डोंट नो. नाउ back to bit number A. Back to bit number A. Tell me, what was the value of shunt that we found out? How many times capital G? What was the value of shunt? How many times capital G? We found out something, right? G upon 499. Was that our answer? What was our answer? Tell me. What was our answer? How many times G? How many times capital G? How many times capital G? Check kara bit number A मध्ये. We found out the value of shunt. But exact shunt value we didn't know. Because we didn't know what is value of capital G. Now we will find capital G and then we'll find S as well. But tell me what was this value? How many times capital G? किती होती बघा जरा check करा. Tell me in the chat box. What was the value of S? How many times capital G? 1 upon 499. Okay, so it was divided by 499. Okay, now you will say, sir, the value of G, exact value was not given, so we kept the answer of shunt in terms of G. Fine, now it's time to find out value of G. Let us call this as equation. Let's say 1 again. Fine, now we know Vg equal to voltage across galvanometer equal to Ig into G. Vg equal to Ig into G. Therefore, sir, I can write G is equal to Vg upon Ig. Vg upon Ig. But sir, I can write this as Vg max upon Ig max also. Yes. When voltage becomes maximum, when voltage across galvanometer becomes maximum, current through the galvanometer also becomes maximum. Current through the galvanometer also becomes maximum. So Vg max upon Ig max. Don't write G max. Don't write G max. Galvanometer resistance is a fixed value. So don't write G max. Just write Vg max upon Ig max. Tell me what was Vg max value that we found out. Vg max काढलाय बघा आपण. From voltage sensitivity we have found out Vg max. Tell me what is Vg max. What is Vg max? From voltage sensitivity, we found out Vg max. Tell me the value of Vg max. And after that, tell me the value of Ig max. 1 upon 20. So Vg max was, sir, 1 upon 20. Very good. These many volt. Okay. In SI unit. Ig max किती आहे बघ बाळ? Ig max in SI unit. From current sensitivity, we have found out Ig max. 10 raised to minus 2. 10 raised to minus 2. Now deal with this carefully. Deal with this carefully. Very simple actually it is. 20 as it is. 10 raised to minus 2 will go into numerator, will become 10 raised to plus 2. 10 raised to plus 2 means 100 upon 20. So this 0 cancel. 10 upon 2, that will become 5. So call this value as equation number 2. Now the value of galvanometer resistance you know. So from the voltage sensitivity find out Vg max. From the current sensitivity find out Ig max. From the voltage sensitivity find out Vg max. From the current sensitivity find out Ig max. Okay, sir. In the with that you can get this galvanometer resistance. With this you can get galvanometer resistance. So now use equation 2 in equation 1. So therefore value of shunt resistance will be equal to this galvanometer resistance is equal to 5 divided by 499. Now you will say, sir, how to divide by 499? Not a big task. Not at all a big task. Dividing by 499 is a very simple task. Shunt resistance, ultimately you are finding the resistance value. So ultimately final answer will be in ohm. Try to write phi and s differently. Okay, write phi like this. You can modify the letter s like this. You can modify the letter s like this so that you can identify which is called which is the letter s and which is phi. Now phi upon 499, not at all a big task. What you will do is this. 499 can always be written as 500 minus 1. Now you will be using the formula of 1 plus fraction, 1 minus fraction. Okay, 1 plus fraction raised to n is 1 times n time is equal to 1 plus n times fraction. 1 plus fraction raised to n is equal to 1 plus n times fraction. So that formula you already know. Okay, that formula we are trying to use. So 1 plus or minus something. We don't want minus 1 or plus 1. We want 1 plus something or 1 minus something. So take 500 common. So 5 in the numerator as it is, s is equal to 5 in the numerator as it is. 5 in the numerator as it is. Then in the denominator take 500 common. So if you take 500 common, that will become 1 minus 1 upon 500. So 5 upon 500 is 1 upon 100. In this bracket 1 minus 1 upon 5. 1 upon 5 is 0.2. 1 upon 5 is 0.2 and divide by 100 means 0.002. 1 upon 500. 1 by 5 is 0.2. 0.2. Point is here. But after divide by 100, that point will shift here. Okay. So 1 minus 0.002. 1 minus 1 minus 0.002. Now this is equal to 1 minus some fraction. Okay, this is 1 minus some fraction. But what we will do, we will make this fraction go in the numerator so that calculation becomes easy. Don't use the formula of 1 plus fraction here. No, make this fraction go in the numerator. Right now, this entire bracket is raised to 1. Right now, this entire bracket is raised to 1. So this 100 as it is, keep it as it is. This bracket goes in the numerator, that will become 1 minus 0.002. This bracket goes in the numerator, so its index will become negative. A plus 1 varti gela ki minus 1. If this plus 1 in the numerator will become minus 1. So 1 upon 100 as it is in the bracket 1 minus. Now you can observe 1 minus fraction raised to n. So this is equivalent to 1 in general. We are writing in general plus. We are writing in general n. This f can be minus f. This n can be minus n also. But in both the cases, answer is going to be this 1 as it is. हा 1 as it is लिहायचा असतो आणि या दोघांची multiplication and multiplication of these two. So multiplication of 1 as it is, multiplication of these two. But minus minus will become plus. Minus minus will become plus. Multiplication of these two. 0.002. या दोघांची multiplication minus minus will become plus. Or you can say 1 minus f. आता इथं minus f आहे ना, minus f तर minus f. This should be the fraction which will be very very less than 1. 0.002 is very very less than 1. 1 minus fraction raised to minus n आहे समजा. Minus 1 आहे ना, minus n. Even in that case, what you have to write as it is and multiplication of these two. परत minus minus plus. Again minus minus plus. So that will become 1 upon 100 as it is. 1 plus 0.002 will be 1.002. 1.002. Okay. And this 100 in the numerator. So 1.002. This 100 means 10 raised to plus 2. This 10 raised to plus 2 in the numerator will become 10 raised to minus 2. This 10 raised to plus 2 in the numerator will become 10 raised to minus 2. That's the value of shunt. That's the value of shunt. Is many ohm. 1.002. 1 point. Have I made a mistake? Have I made a mistake? I don't think so. Yes, my answer and their answer is correct. What is their answer? Because of this minus 2, they have shifted this they have shifted this decimal point leftwards. 0.01002 ohm. This decimal point, because of -2, left ला shift होणार, 2 वेळा left ला. It will move leftward 2 times, and they have approximately written it as 0.01 ohm. Forgetting the further values, they have written 0.01. Now, if you want to write 0.01, you could have directly written like this, means 5 upon, you can neglect this one, right? 5 upon 500, you can neglect this one, or 499 can be approximated to 499 can be approximated to 500. So 5 upon 500, 5 cancel, 1 upon 100, 1 upon 100 is 0.01. So if the options have less accuracy, options मध्ये काही जास्त accuracy नको असेल, then just check if you can do 5 upon 500. 5 upon 500, 499 can be taken as 500. So 5 upon 500, 5 cancel, 1 by 100, 1 by 100 is 0.01. So no need to do all these things if you want less accuracy. So this answer is more accurate. If you want more accuracy, go with this route that I suggested. And if in the options are not demanding much accuracy, then just go with this low accuracy. Reply me in the chat box, clear and written. CW. Is this calculation clear to all of you? Calculation something about. Good. Everyone reply me in the chat box fast. Good. Fine. Okay. So that question we solved. बऱ्याच गोष्टी होत्या त्या एकाच क्वेश्चन मध्ये, बरंच काय काय सांगितलं होतं त्यांनी आपल्याला. Now the next concept is potentiometer. Write down, next theoretical point is potentiometer, and how to use that potentiometer for different purposes is going to be the next 3 or 4 lectures. पुढचे 3-4 लेक्चर जे असणार आहेत ते potentiometer and uses of potentiometer. So write down the heading as potentiometer. Write down the heading as potentiometer. Spelling is, write down potentiometer. Potentiometer. Okay. So something which is capable of measuring potential. Okay. So it can be used to measure potential difference as well. Yes. So this is a device which is capable of measuring potential. Actually, it measures potential difference because absolute potential cannot be measured with this instrument. It actually measures potential difference. Write down. It is a device capable of, just keep on writing, capable of measuring potential difference, PD, E dot D dot, potential difference. Fine. Working principle or its uses we can write. It is used to measure EMF of cells. Okay, it is used to measure EMF of cells or EMF of cell and its internal resistance With this device, not only potential difference but also the EMF of the cell, not only potential difference but also the EMF of the cell can be measured, And not only EMF of the cell, as well as internal resistance of the cell can be measured with the help of this device. So that is going to be the very interesting device, because with the help of voltmeter you cannot measure EMF of cell. Now you will say, sir, why? If this is our cell, this is the internal resistance of the cell, and sir, if we connect the voltmeter, if we connect the voltmeter in parallel with this cell, if we connect the voltmeter in parallel with the cell, so we will be able to measure the EMF of the cell. I will say no. In that case, you will not be able to measure the EMF of the cell. Why? Because actually, in reality, some current will flow in this circuit. Some current will flow in this circuit. And if the current flows through the cell, cell madna current gela. If the current flows through the cell, what is available outside the cell? EMF or PD? Reply me in the chat box. If the current flows through the cell, what is available outside the cell? EMF or PD? सेल मधनं करंट तर जाणार ना. व्होल्टमीटर काय करतो? डिफ्लेक्शन दाखवतो. To give that deflection, current must pass through the galvanometer. Galvanometer is actually present in this voltmeter. So for that galvanometer to deflect, some current must pass. So voltmeter to give it reading, voltmeter na reading द्यायसाठी, for the voltmeter to give the reading, current must pass through the voltmeter. If current must pass through voltmeter, then that current must be given by the battery. And if the current passes through the battery, what is available outside the battery? EMF or PD? Reply me in the chat box. EMF or PD? If the current passes through the battery, what is available outside the battery? EMF or PD? बोला. Tell me fast. If the current passes through the battery, cell मधनं current गेला. Then what is available outside the battery? बॅटरीच्या बाहेर काय अवेलेबल असेल? EMF अवेलेबल असेल. असेल का? EMF अवेलेबल असेल. EMF म्हणजे काय? 104 लोकांचं जेवण. It is a food of 104 people. How much food will be available outside? Only of 100 people. So what will be available outside the cell? Only terminal potential difference. So potential difference can be measured with voltmeter. You cannot measure EMF of the cell, because voltmeter will take some current and that current will be given by battery. So draw this diagram and write. We cannot use, draw this diagram and then write. We cannot use voltmeter. We cannot use voltmeter to measure EMF of the cell, to measure EMF of cell, because to give the reading, current must pass through the voltmeter. Current must pass through voltmeter. Current must pass through voltmeter. This current, full stop. This current must be given by battery. This current must be given by battery. हा करंट कोणी दिला पाहिजे? बॅटरीनेच दिला पाहिजे सर. Must be given by battery. This current must be given by battery. As current is passing through battery, as current is flowing out of battery, flowing out or flowing through whatever you want to write, through battery, outside battery, outside the battery, outside the battery, EMF will not be available. EMF will not be available. EMF will not be available. Only terminal potential difference means PD. Only terminal potential difference. You know the concept of that hotel, right? बाहेरच्या लोकांनी जेवण चालू केलं की आतली लोक पण जेवण करतात. म्हणजे बाहेर किती लोकांचं जेवण येणार? ओनली 100. बट यू हॅव टू प्रिपेअर द फूड फॉर 104 people. So outside the kitchen there will be food of 100 people available and 4 people will eat inside. So total food, that is EMF, will be of 104 people. And the voltmeter says some current must pass through me, only then I can give the reading. व्होल्टमीटर म्हणतोय माझ्यामधनं करंट गेलाच पाहिजे तरच मी रीडिंग देऊ शकतोय. अरे म्हणजे काय? म्हणजे that means the current is passing through the cell आणि सेल मधनं करंट गेला म्हणजे आतल्या लोकांनी जेवण केलं. आता आतल्या लोकांनी जेवण केलं तर बाहेर जास्त लोकांचं जेवण येऊ शकणार नाही, बाहेर EMF येऊ शकणार नाही. ओके, बिकॉज सम पीपल हॅव एट इनसाइड. आतल्या लोकांनी जेवण केलेलं आहे, बरोबर, कारण सेल मधनं करंट गेलाय. सेल मधनं करंट गेला की सम व्होल्टेज यू वेस्ट इनसाइड द सेल. काही व्होल्टेज तुम्ही सेलच्या आत वेस्ट करता. सो आउटसाइड व्होल्टेज विल नॉट बी इक्वल टू EMF. Outside voltage will be called as terminal potential difference. Only terminal potential difference will be available outside cell. Only terminal potential difference will be available outside cell. Up to this, reply me in the chat box, clear and written. Why we cannot use voltmeter to measure the EMF of the cell? Fast, everyone. But this is the instrument which can be used to measure EMF. Potentiometer. It can be used to measure EMF. It can be used to measure EMF. How it is capable of measuring EMF, that we will see. That we will check. Principle of potentiometer, working principle. Write down, let me rub all these things now. Principle of potentiometer. Principle. Write down. On which principle this potentiometer works? Principle of potentiometer. Principle of potentiometer. Write down. The potential drop across the length of potentiometer wire, potential drop across the length of potentiometer wire is directly proportional to length of the wire. Is directly proportional to length of wire. Potential drop across the length of potentiometer wire is directly proportional to length of the wire. So you can write potential difference P dot D dot, potential difference bracket complete, is directly proportional to length. Okay. Now sir, what is this instrument? How to draw this instrument? What is exactly inside this instrument? Where is the wire of this instrument, which is called as potentiometer wire? It is very simple device. It is very simple device. Potentiometer means you have one main battery. This battery is called as main battery. More than one cell you can use, and if you use more than one cell, it is called as a battery. So this is called as main battery, or it is called as main cell. It is called as main battery or main cell. Okay, let's say this is point number A, this is point A, and this is point B. Between points A and B, we connect a battery, and between points A and B, we connect a wire like this. That's it. This wire is called as potentiometer wire. This wire is called as potentiometer wire. Wire AB is called potentiometer wire. Wire AB is called as potentiometer wire. Wire AB ला काय म्हणायचं? Wire AB ला म्हणायचं potentiometer wire. Okay. Wire AB is called as potentiometer wire. Okay. The resistance per unit length of this wire is constant. Okay. Potentiometer wire is uniform. The uniform asते. Uniform means what? At each and every point you have equal cross section. At each and every point of this wire you have equal cross section, and because of that you will be having resistance per unit length of this wire a constant value. Potentiometer wire is uniform, so its resistance per unit length is constant. त्या वायरचा resistance per unit length काय असतो? Constant असतो. So you can write resistance of wire AB, total resistance upon total length of wire AB is equal to sigma. Now sigma is not conductivity, sigma is resistance per unit length. RAB upon LAB is equal to constant. Now we will prove that potential difference between any 2 points of the wire is proportional to length of the wire between those 2 points. So let us take any general point P. So write down, let P is general point, any general point on wire, on potentiometer wire. Now we have to prove that potential difference between points A and B, potential drop across the length of the potentiometer wire. If say this is the length we are considering, that potential drop is proportional to length of the wire. Potential drop or the voltage between these 2 points is proportional to length between these 2 points, that we have to prove. So this is the given which we have written, RAB upon LAB, that is constant. Resistance per unit length is constant. Why? Because wire is uniform. So between these 2 points, can I write the current given by the battery is I. The same current will go through this wire AB. Forget the resistance of these connecting wires. या connecting wires resistance बाळांनो विसरून जा. Connecting wires resistance बाळांनो विसरून जा. फक्त या वायरचा resistance विचारात घ्या. Only consider the resistance of this wire AB. Forget about the resistance of these connecting wires. Okay, fine. So same current is passing in this circuit I. So can I write current in the circuit is resistance between points AP divided by, current is equal to potential difference between points AP divided by resistance AP. AP मधला current कसा येईल ना? AP मधलं पोटेन्शियल डिफरन्स अपॉन AP चा रेजिस्टन्स. Potential difference between points AP divided by resistance between points AP. Okay, but sir, same current is passing through wire AB also. Total wire AB मधनं पण तोच current चाललाय. Same current is passing through total wire AB. So you can write total potential difference divided by total resistance RAB. AB मधला करंट तो पण Iच आहे. The current in the wire AB, that is also equal to I. So we can write total potential difference VAB divided by resistance of this wire AB divided by resistance of the wire AB. Potential difference upon resistance is equal to current. So this you can write here. Therefore, VAP upon RAP is equal to VAB upon RAB is equal to VAB upon RAB. But sir, we want to prove that VAP, potential difference between points A and P, is proportional to LAP, length AP. This length we will call it as LAP, and this total length we will call it as LAB. This total length we will call it as LAB. Let us call this as LAP. Let us call this as LAB. We want to prove that potential difference between these 2 points is proportional to this length. कुठल्याही 2 पॉइंट मधलं potential difference त्या 2 पॉइंट मधल्या लेंथला proportional आहे. We want to prove that potential difference between any 2 points is proportional to length between those 2 points. Okay, so make this RAP go on the right hand side. या RAP ला right hand side ला पाठवा. So that will become VAP is equal to VAP is equal to this VAB upon RAB. VAB means potential difference between points A and B divided by RAB. VAB upon RAB multiplied by this RAP multiplied by RAP. Okay, now resistance per unit length is constant. It is given that resistance per unit length is constant. So resistance of my length is equal to resistance per unit length into my length. माझ्या लेंथचा रेजिस्टन्स किती? Resistance per unit length into माझी length. So can I write this VAB upon RAB as it is? Resistance of my length is resistance per unit length into my length. So what is resistance per unit length? Total resistance upon total length. So total resistance upon total length. This is resistance per unit length into my length. What is my length? AP. So it is LAP. Resistance between points A and P. A आणि P मधला रेजिस्टन्स काढण्यासाठी काय केलं मी? रेजिस्टन्स पर युनिट लेंथ इनटू my length. So I will get my resistance. हा RAP मिळाला. Now this RAB and VAB cancel. RAB cancel. Sorry, RAB cancel. RAB cancel. So VAB divided by LAB multiplied by LAP. This is going to be potential difference between points A and P. This is going to be potential difference between points A and P. So can I say this term is going to be the constant value, and therefore potential difference between points A and P, VAP, potential difference between points A and P, VAP is proportional to length between 2 points A and P. VAP कशाला proportional आहे? LAP ला proportional आहे, because this VAB, potential difference between points A and B, is decided by the battery, which is fixed value. Length of the wire AB is also predefined. Which is also fixed value. So I can write this VAB is a fixed value Potential difference across entire wire. Potential difference across entire wire is a fixed value. And length of the entire wire, that is also the fixed value. That is also the fixed value. Multiplied by LAP is equal to potential difference between any 2 points VAP. So in this way, we can prove that VAP is equal to some constant value into LAP. So therefore, VAP is proportional to LAP. Potential difference between 2 points, any 2 points, is proportional to length between any 2 points. Or VAP upon LAP, potential difference between any 2 points divided by length between any 2 points is equal to constant. Is equal to constant. That is, potential drop per unit length is equal to constant. Potential drop per unit length is equal to constant. असं लिहिता येतं. त्याच प्रिन्सिपलला कसं लिहिता येतं? Potential drop VAP divided by length across which that potential has dropped. Potential drop per unit length is equal to constant. VAP upon LAP is equal to constant or VAP proportional to LAP. बघा, प्रिन्सिपल प्रूव्ह केलं. Hence proved. प्रूव्ह केलं आपण. Principle of potentiometer आपण प्रूव्ह केलं. If the wire is uniform, we can prove this. If the given wire is uniform wire, having resistance per unit length constant, त्या वायरचा resistance per unit length constant असेल तर आपण हे प्रूव्ह करू शकतो की potential drop will be proportional to length. VAP will be proportional to LAP. Write down and reply me in the chat box up to this clear and written. Good. Good. P is any general point on the wire. P is any general point on the wire. So let's draw the potentiometer wire once again. This is point A, this is point B. Between points A and B, you connect a battery, which is called as main cell or main battery. Now, if you want to find out potential difference between any 2 points, first point is A, other point is B. Let us call that as VAP, and let's say length between those 2 points is LAP. Let's say total potential difference is VAB, and length of the total wire is LAB. Then you can immediately find out VAP like this. If this, then VAP is equal to potential difference across my length is equal to potential difference across my length A and B. VAP is equal to potential difference across my length is equal to potential drop per unit length into my length. Potential drop per unit length into my length. Potential drop per unit length means total potential difference upon total length. Total potential difference upon total length. Total potential difference is VAB divided by total length is LAB. Total length is LAB. Simple. So VAP is equal to VAB upon LAB into LAB, potential drop per unit length into my length. My potential difference is equal to potential drop per unit length into my length. Potential drop per unit length into my length. So potential drop across my length or my potential difference. My potential difference is equal to potential drop per unit length into my length. So याच्या अक्रॉस झालेला पोटेन्शियल ड्रॉप किंवा पोटेन्शियल डिफरन्स VAP is equal to VAB upon LAB into LAB. Total potential difference upon total length. Total potential difference upon total length. This formula you will remember. This formula you will remember. Okay. Or VAP upon LAP is equal to VAB upon LAP. तसंही चालेल. Potential drop per unit length means VAP upon LAP is equal to VAB upon LAB. Potential drop per unit length constant असतो ना. VAP upon LAP करा नाहीतर VAB upon LAB करा, तुम्हाला एक कॉन्स्टंट व्हॅल्यूज मिळेल, फिक्स व्हॅल्यूज मिळेल, एकच व्हॅल्यू मिळणार आहे. VAP अपॉन LAP करा, जी व्हॅल्यू मिळते तीच व्हॅल्यू VAB अपॉन LAB करून मिळणार आहे. पोटेन्शियल ड्रॉप पर युनिट लेंथ कॉन्स्टंट, पोटेन्शियल ड्रॉप पर युनिट लेंथ कॉन्स्टंट, तीच व्हॅल्यू मिळणार आहे. either do VAP upon LAP or VAB upon LAB, you will get same value. Up to this, reply me in the chat box things and the formulae written for potentiometer. Are those clear to all of you? Reply me small c. Good, very good. Now write down the heading, application of potentiometer. Write down the heading as applications of potentiometer. Write down applications of potentiometer. Applications of potentiometer. Number one, to measure EMF of cell. Cellचा EMF मोजायसाठी. Number two, to compare म्हणजे रेशो. Compare means ratio. To compare EMFs दोन आहेत, दोघांचा रेशो असेल ना, एकट्याचा रेशो घेता येत नाही. For ratio you need two cells. To compare the EMFs of two cells. दोन सेलच्या EMF चा रेशो पाहिजे, म्हणजे E1 upon E2. E1 upon E2 पाहिजे. E1 upon E2 पाहिजे. त्याच्यामध्ये दोन मेथड्स आहेत. There are two methods. First one is called as direct method. It is called as direct method. And second method of comparing EMFs. Comparing EMFs means ratio of EMFs. First is direct method. Second is sum and difference method. First is direct method, second is sum and difference method. Okay, fine. Third application of potentiometer is to measure, actually to calculate. You directly cannot get measurement. You directly cannot get measurement. But with some measurements and with some calculation, you can find out the internal resistance of cell. So I will write to calculate. I will use proper words. It has meaning, right? To calculate internal रेजिस्टन्स ऑफ सेल, इंटरनल रेजिस्टन्स ऑफ सेल. सेलचा इंटरनल रेजिस्टन्स मेजर करायला सुद्धा बाळांनो आपल्याला पोटेन्शियोमीटर वापरता येतो. We can use the potentiometer to measure the internal resistance of the cell. So these are the three applications. These are the three main applications of potentiometer. These are the three main applications of potentiometer. 1, 2 they have given. Fine. And after this, after learning these three applications of potentiometer, there is one more device which is called as meter bridge. And once we complete that meter bridge, that this chapter will be over. Okay, this chapter will be over. Fine. So how much time we have today? We have 5 more minutes. Okay, we have 5 more minutes. So we'll start with the first application to measure the EMF of the cell. We will draw its diagram. We will draw its diagram. See, potentiometer means very simple. एक main cell असतो आणि एक wire असते. बाकी काही नाही. You have one main cell and one wire. We have 10 more minutes actually. The time is 8:45. Up to 8:45 we can have the lecture. So write down the first application. Write down the first application to measure the EMF of cell. Number 1. Application number 1. To measure EMF of cell. To measure EMF of cell. Cellचा EMF मोजण्यासाठी. How to use the potentiometer. Now see how it is drawn. The wire of the potentiometer is very large. For example, 8 meter. 1 meter is this much. So 8 meter will be how much? You can compare. You can imagine. This is the main cell or the main battery. This is the main cell or the main battery. Let us denote it by capital E. Okay. And this is the point. Let's say here. Here the point is A. Here the point is A. And here the point is B. Don't draw anything here. The wire is very large. The wire is very large. So there is one wooden board like this, and on that wooden board, this is point A, this is point B. Either point A, either point B. So what they do, they make rounds of wire. One, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then they connect it to point B. Let me show that here. हा पॉइंट ए आहे, हा पॉइंट बी आहे. ओके. सो ऍक्च्युअली काय केलेलं असतं, बरेच टर्न्स असतात वायरचे. डोंट ड्रॉ इट, डोंट ड्रॉ इट. आणि मग ती पॉइंट बी ला कनेक्ट केलेली असते. मग ती पॉइंट बी ला कनेक्ट केलेली असते. दिस इज द वुडन बोर्ड. दिस इज द वुडन बोर्ड. ओके. बट टू ड्रॉ दी सर्किट, सर्किट ड्रॉ करताना अशा वायर नाही ड्रॉ करायच्या. डोंट ड्रॉ लाईक दिस. डोंट ड्रॉ लाईक दिस. To draw the circuit, draw the wires like this. Not wires, wire. एकच wire है. Zigzag wire. Because the wire is very large, people draw it in zigzag manner. लोक काय करतात, zigzag manner मध्ये ड्रॉ करतात. भरपूर मोठी वायर आहे. Large wire, very large wire. This is. Okay, sir, getting it. Fine. So this is the potentiometer wire AB. This is the potentiometer wire AB. But sir, if we keep it like this, what will happen? A large amount of current will try to flow in the wire. Large amount of current will try to flow in the wire, and after some time, because of the current, there will be heating effect. I square RT. After some time t, there will be heating effect. This wire will go on heating. It may expand, it may melt, it may expand, it may melt. So that will cause the errors in calculation of length. आपल्याला LAB, LAP, length between any two points, LAP, LAB, total length measure करायचे. So you cannot allow this wire to get heat up. त्या वायरला हीट होऊ द्यायचं नाहीये. सो मोस्टली काय केलं जातं बाळांनो, ही वायर हीट होऊ नये म्हणून एक रेझिस्टन्स ऍड केला जातो या सर्किट मध्ये. आता या सर्किट मध्ये आता किती रेझिस्टन्स होता, रेझिस्टन्स ऑफ वायर AB एवढाच रेझिस्टन्स होता. ओके, मग या सर्किटचा रेझिस्टन्स वाढवूया म्हणजे काय होईल, तर या सर्किट मध्ये थोडासा कमी करंट फ्लो होईल. करंट कमी फ्लो झाला की हिटिंग इफेक्ट कमी होईल. सो एक रेझिस्टन्स इथं अटॅच केला जातो. नाउ दिस रेझिस्टन्स इज कॉल्ड ॲज व्हेरिएबल रेझिस्टन्स. दिस रेझिस्टन्स इज कॉल्ड ॲज व्हेरिएबल रेझिस्टन्स. या व्हेरिएबल रेझिस्टन्सला दोन फिक्स टर्मिनल असतात. दिस इज कॉल्ड ॲज फिक्स टर्मिनल, दिस इज कॉल्ड ॲज फिक्स टर्मिनल. दिस इज कॉल्ड ॲज स्लाइडर. दिस इज कॉल्ड ॲज स्लाइडर. यू कॅन मूव्ह दिस स्लाइडर अप अँड डाऊन, अप अँड डाऊन. जर तुम्ही हा स्लाइडर वरती 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 घेऊन गेला, इफ यू आर मुव्हिंग दिस स्लाइडर अप, राईट नाव इट इज हिअर. सो सर्किट मध्ये किती रेझिस्टन्स येणार, या कम्प्लीट सर्किट मध्ये एवढा रेझिस्टन्स येणार. दिस मच रेझिस्टन्स, एवढा रेझिस्टन्स येणार आणि करंट असा परत बॅटरीमध्ये जाणार. या करंट फ्लोला एवढा रेझिस्टन्स प्लस या वायरचा रेझिस्टन्स, करंटला ओव्हरऑल किती रेझिस्टन्स सहन करावा लागणार. The current will experience a resistance of, or this battery will effectively experience a resistance of this wire AB and this much resistance. If you move this slider down, if you move this slider, if you move this slider down like this, now the resistance which will be experienced will be this much. Resistance will be experienced will be this much. More resistance will be experienced. If you move this slider up, हा स्लाइडर जर तुम्ही वरती मूव्ह केला तर आता सर्किट मध्ये एवढाच रेझिस्टन्स. करंट विल फ्लो out of the battery like this, then from the wire AB like this, then from the resistance like this, then again back to the battery. So in that case only this much resistance will be available in the circuit. So you can move this slider. So in this way the variable resistor works. It has two fixed terminals. त्याला दोन फिक्स टर्मिनल असतात आणि एक व्हेरिएबल टर्मिनल असतं. It has two fixed terminals and one variable terminal. So this is called as variable resistor. शॉर्ट फॉर्म मध्ये त्याला रिओस्टॅट असंही म्हणतात. ओके, इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड ॲज रिओस्टॅट. इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड ॲज रिओस्टॅट. So let us connect the slider here. Why this rheostat is connected? To control the current in the circuit. If you maintain very high current in the circuit, wire will heat up and it may melt. It may become non-uniform because of melting. Wireचा cross section uniform पाहिजे. At each and every point of the wire, cross section must be same. Only then you have uniform wire. If you have uniform wire, only then this instrument will work, because this instrument works on the principle of potential drop per unit length equal to constant. Then potential drop per unit length you want to make it constant. It means resistance per unit length should be constant. And for resistance per unit length to be constant, you need uniform wire. Uniform wire means equal cross section at each and every point. At each and every point of the wire, the cross section should be uniform. The cross section should be same. Fine. So this rheostat, its symbol is RH. Variable resistance or rheostat RH. Rheostat, variable resistance. Fine. So now we have main cell, rheostat and the potentiometer battery. Main cell, rheostat, and the potentiometer wire AB. These things we have. Now we want to measure the EMF of the cell. एका सेलचा EMF आपल्याला measure करायचा. So what you will do? At point A, in this space, you will connect one cell like this, E1. Let us say that we want to measure the EMF of the cell E1. So that cell will have its own internal resistance also. Okay. So practical cell consider केला तरी चालेल. Absolutely no problem. You want to measure the EMF of the cell. आता सेलचा EMF मेजर करायचा आहे. सो सेलच्या बाहेर EMF केव्हा अवेलेबल असतो? जर सेल मधनं करंट गेला नाही तर. Outside the cell, EMF will be available only if there is no current in the cell. इफ देर इज करंट इन द सेल, आतली लोक जेवण करतील, इंटरनल रेजिस्टन्स थोडासा व्होल्टेज ड्रॉप करेल, सम व्होल्टेज विल बी वेस्टेड इनसाइड द सेल बिकॉज ऑफ द इंटरनल रेजिस्टन्स. व्हाय? इफ देर इज करंट इन द सेल, if there is current in the cell, there will be loss of potential difference, there will be loss of voltage across the internal resistance. Then this EMF cannot be available between these 2 points. Let us call this point as X, let us call this point as Y. So somehow you have to manage that there should not be any current through this cell. या सेल मधनं करंट गेला नाही पाहिजे. Okay. So between points X and Y, connect one cell which has some internal resistance. Between point X and Y, connect the point X to the higher potential terminal of the wire AB. ही wire AB आहे, complete wire AB. This is higher potential terminal, this is lower potential terminal. Connect point X to the higher potential terminal and connect point Y to the galvanometer. Connect point Y to the galvanometer. Now, another end of the galvanometer is connected to the metallic pointer. एक metallic pointer है. The metallic pointer is called as jockey of the galvanometer. It is called as jockey of the galvanometer. So it has one metallic pointer. That metallic pointer you can connect anywhere on this wire. So metallic pointer तुम्ही या wire वरती कुठं पाहिजे तिथं ठेवू शकता. Okay. So for time being, let me show that metallic pointer like this. Solid arrow. एक arrow काढतो, त्याला असं shading करतो complete. So this is the metallic pointer of the galvanometer. It is called as jockey of the galvanometer. Okay, it can be connected between any points of the wire A and B. So it can be connected anywhere between points A and B. A आणि B मध्ये तो कुठेही connect करता येतो. Okay, इथपर्यंत clear झालं का सांगा? Up to this, is that clear? Reply me in the chat box. Jockey of the galvanometer. इथपर्यंत बघा बाळांनो. What is J? Its variable resistance. E is main cell. E काय आहे बाळ? E आहे main cell. E1 काय आहे? Cell whose EMF to be measured. Cell whose EMF is to be measured. ज्या सेलचा EMF मेजर करायचा आहे तो आहे E1. That is E1. Are the things taught in today's lecture clear to all of you? Are all the things taught in today's lecture clear to all of you? काय काय सांगितलं आजच्या लेक्चर मध्ये? एक क्वेश्चन सॉल्व केलाय, प्रिन्सिपल ऑफ पोटेन्शियोमीटर, इन फर्स्ट ऍप्लिकेशन अप टू डायग्राम समजून घेणं. दॅट इज ऑल्सो द टास्क दॅट वी हॅव कम्प्लिटेड टुडे. ते पण एक टास्क आहे बघा. जमले का बघा? मला डायग्राम काढता येईल का? AB वायरच आहे. यू कुड हॅव ड्रॉन लाईक दिस ऑल्सो, नो प्रॉब्लेम, बट वायर इज लार्ज सो इट इज शोन इन झिगझॅग मॅनर. मोठी वायर असते म्हणून ते स्ट्रेट लाईन दाखवत नाही, झिगझॅग दाखवत. इट्स ओके. Up to this, reply in the chat box. Are the things taught in today's lecture clear to all of you? Yes, very good. Good. So, reminder for the completion of the homework of fluid mechanics. You have to complete the homework of fluid mechanics. That will automatically prepare you for the test. Tomorrow there will be test. Time is 7:30 to 9. I think yes, 7:30 to 9. Okay, 90 minutes you have. You will be having enough time. All the formulas you will be asked. All the single mark question you might be asked. You will be asked for the derivations, few derivations of the boards. एक 4-5 डेरिवेशन जेवढे त्या चॅप्टर मध्ये आहेत तेवढेच प्रिपेअर करा. पण ते एक्सरसाइज जसं दिलंय तसं एक्सरसाइजला सॉल्व करा. पहिल्यांदा एक्सरसाइज सॉल्व केला की आपोआप डेरिवेशन्स आणि न्यूमेरिकल्स क्लिअर होतात. फॉर्म्युले सुद्धा विचारणार, डेफिनेशन्स पण विचारणार, 2 किंवा 3 डेरिवेशन्स विचारणार, 2 किंवा 3 न्यूमेरिकल्स विचारणार. Is that okay? Reply me in the chat box. पटकन reply करा. It's almost about 9:50 now. No, 850. पटकन रिप्लाई कर. Yes. Chalo, very good. In this lecture we will stop at this point. Chalo, bye bye everyone. Have a good day and nice day to all of you. And complete the homeworks. Okay. Chalo, bye.